This was the indigenous music of America. This is the music that of the new America, of the land of immigrants. This is that music. I mean, of course, you have the Native American music, but other than that, the only music that was born and raised here, and you see the links of jazz in all of the different styles of music that came out of the Americas.
I think jazz education is important because it helps us all to be better people along the journey of life. So many times, the experience of being exposed to the music in America's culture, in Americans' true art form, jazz, has made me a better person in terms of the opportunities to meet people from around the world, in my community, and to be involved with so many wonderful students along the way.
Even if you're not going to be a jazz musician, the lessons that you learn from studying jazz and taking the time and the effort, the energy, and the discipline that it takes to play an instrument well translates into other fields in life.
Even for people who don't play or only listen, certainly they can sing. And we start singing using those jazz syllables, do-da, ba-do, ba, bow, ba, ba-do, dow. And so anyone can do that and be involved in it.
The unique thing about the Straight Ahead Jazz Camp is, in my experience as a musician and educator, at gigs all the time you always meet people in the audience who come and say, wow, I remember when I played the saxophone or the trumpet, or when I was in band, or I wish I would have never stopped playing. So the wonderful thing about the Straight Ahead Jazz Camp is it gives those people an opportunity to come and almost rehash their youth, I guess, and reinvigorate their love for jazz music in general.
You know, it gives you an insight into what goes on in the brain of a jazz musician. It takes away a lot of the unknowns about the music that people may have.
Well, there's a vast amount of knowledge to be gained by attending here, because if you look at the wealth of musicians that are teaching, Victor Goins, I see that, Victor Garcia, Orbit Davis, Perez Whitted, Pat Mallinger, all these people are great musicians that are involved. And the experience that they've had, you know, that they can impart, and you find out things that maybe you would never find out otherwise, you know.
It's a very accepting and nurturing environment because the faculty are the way they are and who they are, and the other students have such a positive attitude toward learning and toward playing jazz that it's a place that brings out the best in people.
Music is a social art form, and jazz is a social art form as well. And so you have to be around people as much as you can to dig into this music. It's not just about locking yourself in a room and practicing, because it's an art of communication. That's all music is. You know, they say that art is the highest form of communication, and music is the highest form of art. And as a result, the key to communication is people.
Always like to see the jam session. So, you know, when you get the teachers and the participants who are taking what they learned all week, and now they're on stage and they're playing, you know, and they're saying, oh, you know, we've gotten so much, and if they just take one piece of knowledge. So I tell the students all the time, I tell them, you know, like, we'll cover, you know, a year, 2 years worth of stuff, worth of practicing, you know, over these 4 or 5 days. So if you get one thing, you know, the camp is done its due. You know, all you really need to do is get one thing. There's the start. There's the kernel that turns into a bowl of popcorn, I guess.
It's really for everybody. You got to try it to appreciate it. But I don't know of hardly anyone who comes here. I can't think of anyone who comes here that doesn't get involved in the spirit of the camp and have a really positive experience.
If a person could come and get a foothold, you know, it's very short period. It's only a week, you know, so it's like a crash course.